In a village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a boy named Leo. Leo and his mother didn't have much. Their cottage was small, their clothes were patched, and sometimes their meals were just a simple bowl of soup. But if you were to ask anyone in the village who the happiest person was, they'd all point to Leo. He had a smile that could outshine the sun and a laugh that echoed through the valleys like music. The other villagers, however, were a different story. They had large houses, wore fine clothes, and ate lavish meals every day. The merchant, Mr. Gable, had chests overflowing with gold coins, but he spent his days worrying about thieves. The weaver, Mrs. Finch, had bolts of the most beautiful silk, yet she was constantly anxious about her competitors. Even the mayor, with his grand mansion, fretted over his status and what others thought of him. They were rich in possessions, but poor in spirit. One day, a severe drought struck the land. The rivers ran dry, the crops withered, and a heavy gloom fell over the village. The wealthy villagers became even more miserable. Their gold couldn't buy rain, and their silks couldn't quench their thirst. Their worries multiplied, and their faces were etched with despair. But Leo remained cheerful. He found joy in the little things. He'd chase butterflies that still flitted about, tell stories to the other children under the shade of the one resilient oak tree, and sing songs to lift his mother's spirits. He shared their small portions of food with neighbors who had even less. Always with a smile, the villagers were baffled. They gathered and watched him one afternoon. The mayor, his face drawn and tired, finally approached him. "Leo, how can you be so happy? We have lost everything. Our wealth is useless." Leo looked up from a little wooden bird he was carving and smiled. "But we haven't lost everything," he said softly. "Look." He pointed to the children playing nearby, their laughter a stark contrast to the silence of the fields. "We still have each other. We have stories to share, songs to sing, and hands to help one another." He held up his carving. "We have our creativity and our kindness. Isn't that a different kind of wealth?" The villagers were silent, a profound realization dawning on them. They had been so focused on what they had in their vaults that they forgot what they had in their hearts. Inspired by Leo, they began to change. Mr. Gable used his resources to organize a water-sharing system. Mrs. Finch taught others how to mend clothes and make blankets. The mayor started community gatherings where people could share food and support. Slowly, the village transformed. It was no longer a collection of rich but isolated individuals. It became a community bound by generosity and care. When the rains finally returned, they celebrated not as rich or poor, but as one united family. They had learned a valuable lesson from a boy who had nothing but owned everything that truly mattered. Wealth wasn't in their pockets. It was in their connections, their kindness, and the joy they shared. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that inspires. See you next time.